Just weeks after missing a memorial service marking 1 year since the passing of Prince Philip, Harry and Meghan have met with the Queen and with Prince Charles.
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex secretly stopped in at Windsor Castle on their way to the Invictus Games in Holland, their first joint UK trip since quitting royal duties in 2020. Well, joining us now is royal biographer Angela Levin, alongside editor-in-chief of Majesty magazine, Ingrid Seward. So we've already had some reaction to them coming. They seem to sort of sneak in the country. And I have to say, the majority of the reaction we've had so far, Ingrid, is it's disgusting. They should have come for the memorial service. Why come now, not then? And also, why not bring Archie and Lilibet, particularly Lilibet, because the Queen hasn't met her?
Well, I suppose all those comments are fair enough, but we don't know if Archie and Lilibet were there or not. I rather doubt they were, because Harry and Meghan are on a working trip. But I don't think disgusting is the word, because this is the monarch. She's all about forgiveness. Yeah. And there's no way that she would want, however much Harry and Meghan might have hurt her, it's just simply not in her makeup to hold that kind of grudge. You know, it is her grandson, and she's very, very fond of him. And I think the same goes for Prince Charles. What would be the point of carrying on a sort of no speaks with your son when he is offering an olive branch? I think it's not ideal, but it was sort of symbiotic. They basically need the Queen's fairy dust, if you like, for their brand, and she loves them. She's that sort of person. She's very welcoming. And there's no point in carrying on the row forever, or the disagreement, or the hurt feelings, whatever it is. Remember, the Queen above all is a very Christian woman, and she is about forgiveness. So this is a wonderful opportunity to start to mend the problems.
Angela, this is a good thing, isn't it? I mean, you know, after all the allegations levelled at Harry and Meghan, in the end, they have come, and they've come to see the Queen and Prince Charles. Whichever way we look at it, regardless of what's happened before, this actually is a positive moment, isn't it?
I'm not sure that it is. I think we have to be very careful not to jump to conclusions. I think both the Queen and Prince Charles have missed them hugely, and therefore they could wrap them around their little fingers and use them for commercial use as they have done before. I think that it's something to do with not turning up at Prince Philip's memorial service and finding out from that what the reaction was. Very bad, and they can't afford to lose that publicity. Also, off to Holland today, but most unusually, the King and Queen, who invite any royal to stay with them, the very gregarious, have not invited him. They're not inviting them even for dinner. And I think they were there at the memorial service, and I think that they're saying something very loud, very quietly. And I think that it's all a plot. We don't know if they had cameras in their pockets, and also, it'll give maybe a boost to the start of their documentary about Invictus Games. I can't believe that when you are so unkind and untruthful, when you talk to Oprah Winfrey, that it takes you well over a year to realise, oh no, we must make friends again. I can't see this hot and cold.
But Angela, but what you've described there is almost every family I've ever known. I mean, I can talk about my own family. I've fallen out with key members of my family and not spoken to them for years, and then things happen, moments happen. Often it's when someone's unwell or somebody's getting elderly, or funerals. It brings families together. I mean, you know, every family operates like this. Why are we so cynical and sometimes nasty about Harry and Meghan?
I'm not cynical. Yeah, but did 15 million people hear that you were behaving badly, or one of your relations behaving badly?
You go onto Facebook, Angela. People share all kinds of dirty washing about their relatives and family on Facebook. That's their media broadcasting. That's their platform. People do it all the time.
But also the Queen has needed them for a very long time. It's taken them quite a long time to realise that. I think that this is a deliberate I think they want to bring down the British royal family, but they can smile on occasion. I mean, Harry's a different person from the one I spent over a year with when I wrote his biography. He's ruthless, he's off the lead, as it were, and nothing will stop him to get what he wants.
I mean, Ingrid, Adol mentioned there people sometimes come back together with ill health. The fact that they have come now and chosen this moment to come is making people think that maybe the Queen is more, there should be more concern about her health than maybe we've had. We know she's not taking part in the Easter Sunday service. When you look at pictures of her at the Maundy Thursday services from years ago, I don't know, she just had a little bit more vigour in her. And is that partly to do with getting COVID? Is that partly to do with the loss of Prince Philip and the grief that comes with that? And maybe Harry and Meghan feel they need to see her as soon as possible.
Well, I think that it's very hard to know for sure about the Queen's health, but I understand that her main problem is her mobility. And when you're her age and you are unmobile, you lose a huge amount of muscle mass very quickly, which is why she's so, she's lost so much weight. But her mind is still pin sharp. She's still very together. She would be perfectly aware of many of the reasons, as Angela was saying, why Harry and Meghan need to see her. They do need her fairy dust. But then, as I said before, she is all about forgiveness. And it wouldn't have benefited anyone if she'd refused to see them. It just wouldn't have helped anyone. And I think the Prince of Wales feels exactly the same. So I would say it's a symbiotic meeting. The Queen is very, very canny. After all, she needs to be, after she's been on the throne for 70 years, but she knows exactly what they're about. But she's also, it suits her to be back in the fold with them because, she loves Harry and she wants to see her grandchildren, which is completely understandable. But I don't think this is a sort of last-ditch thing because of her health. I think she wanted to see them. It worked for her schedule. Remember, it's her schedule that's more important than their schedule. And it worked, and I'm sure this wasn't a last-minute thing.
Okay. Ingrid Stewart, thank you so much for joining us, and Angela Levin, thank you too. And, good luck to Harry and Meghan. They've got the Invictus Games, which launches tomorrow, which is very, very important. Very important games for injured and service men and women, and that is fantastic. And I still think they do a tremendous work for mental health. And, hey, look, the Queen has stood by other royals in the last year who have done, allegedly, much worse things.
So I agree.
Good luck to the royal family, I say.
We miss Prince Harry here, don't we?
Yeah, of course.